I am your science teacher. We are learning chapter 13, magnetic effect of electric current. Now, we learn regarding electric motor, that is an application of that a magnetic field produced by a current carrying wire. With the help of that concept, they have invented electric motor. Now, the reverse thought came in their mind. If a current carrying wire can produce a magnetic field, understand this properly. If a current carrying wire can produce a magnetic field, is the reverse true? Reverse true means what? Can magnetic field produce current? Okay, can magnetic field produce current? Understand this very simple thing. So for that, what they did is they did an experiment. What they did is, okay, they took a loop. Okay, they took a loop here, and this loop is connected to a galvanometer. Now you know what does a galvanometer do? What does a galvanometer do? It can detect current. It can detect current. It will not measure current. It will only detect current. Okay, and then they put a magnet here. Then they put a magnet here. So this is north pole, this is south pole, and the magnetic field goes like this. Understood? So what I am trying to tell you is the reverse true? Now when they try to put a magnet near a coil, you know, nothing happened. Nothing happened means no current is produced. Does that mean that the reverse is not true? Means a magnetic field cannot produce current? Right now we can say that yes. But they didn't stop at that moment. What they did is they have changed this place of magnet from one place to another. So basically sometimes they put a magnet here, they bring it further, they take it back. Now what will happen if you do so? If you take a magnet near or far from any circular loop, what will happen is the magnetic field will increase or decrease. So can I say the change in a magnetic field happen? Change in the magnetic field. Okay, what happen is change in the magnetic field happen. And here is the jackpot. What happen is, yes, it do produce current. There is a deflection in the galvanometer. So not right. If you keep a magnet at one place, then the current produced is stopped, right? But if you keep on changing the magnetic field, how do you change the magnetic field? You can take the magnet near or far. You can take the magnet near or far from a circular loop, and it can produce current. We call that as induced current. What do you call? Induce means produce. Induce current. Okay. So finally we got it. What? That change in the magnetic field produce current. Not a constant magnetic field will produce current. Change in the magnetic field produce current. Understand? What did I say? Change in the magnetic field produces current. So for that you have to do some work. If the other way around is true, we all should have a free energy for the lifetime. But you know that is not possible. Right? How? If I say the earlier experiment as what I said, you put a loop, you put a magnet, right, and you keep it at one place. Simple. You all should have a generator at our house, but you know that is not the case. For that you have to constantly change the magnetic field, and in order to change the magnetic field you have to take the magnet towards the loop and away from the loop continuously. The moment you stop, the magnetic field change in a magnetic field stop, and hence the current produced will also stop. So what produces current? Change in the magnetic field produces current. Now they have thought of on another way also. What did they thought of? Let's say I keep this magnet here only, and what if I take the loop near and away to the magnet? Will you see the same result? Yes, and the answer is yes. We will see the same result. Why? Simple. If you keep a magnet at one place and you take the loop near or away, definitely again the magnetic field changes. And this phenomena is called electromagnetic induction. This phenomena is called electromagnetic induction. Now see, who have studied this for the first time? It was an English physicist named Michael Faraday, right? In the year 1831. And how they did? This is the same as the experiment I told you, right? But the question arises, the deflection, it depends. For example, I say here, when you take your magnet near, see like this, when you take your magnet near, let's say the galvanometer shows deflection in right side. Now, if let's say if you take it away, then the magnetic field current, direction of current will also change. So basically the current produced, it depend upon what? It depend upon the direction of change in a magnetic field. So if the change in a magnetic field, direction of change in a magnetic field changes, the direction of current also changes. So see, this is the one that moving in a magnet towards the coil sets up a current in the circuit as indicated, right? Then they did one more experiment. What they did, they take a two coil, one coil is here and one coil is here. Guys, understand, this activities they usually ask in the exam if they don't ask theory. So make sure you do all the activities whatever I am teaching you in this chapter. Coil 1 and coil 2. Now let's say when you switch on, it momentarily gives the deflection and then it come back. When you switch off, again it shows a reverse direction. But if you keep it switch on continuously, will it going to change? No, it is not going to change, right? Will it going to change? No. Thus we can say this process by which a change in a magnetic field in a conductor induces current in another conductor is called electromagnetic induction, and the induced current in a coil is either by moving a magnetic field or by changing the magnetic field around it. This induced current is found to be highest when the direction of motion of the coil is at the right angle of the magnetic field. Now the question arises to them is, what is the direction of current? What is the direction of current? And for that, what is the solution? Fleming right hand rule. See, there is a difference between right hand thumb rule and Fleming right hand rule. In Fleming right hand rule, what does the thumbs tells you? Thumbs tells you the motion of a conductor. So for example, you are moving a conductor in right or left side, the thumb is going to be in that direction. The middle finger gives you the direction of magnetic field, and the first finger gives you the direction of magnetic field, and the middle finger gives you the induced current. But make sure your thumb and the first finger has to be perpendicular to each other. So here also it is same as our left rule. Okay, this is called Fleming right hand rule. And finally we know from this electromagnetic induction what? That the change in a magnetic field will produce current. The reverse is also true, and it depends on three things. First of all, the faster you change the magnetic field, the more current it gets produced. If the loop has more number of turns, it is going to produce more current. And And as what I said, the direction of change in a magnetic field also changes the direction of current. And which rule gives you the direction of induced current? Fleming right hand rule, where thumb shows you the direction of movement of conductor, first finger gives you the direction of magnetic field, and the middle finger gives you the direction of induced current. So hope you got what I said. See, so this is the last topic of our chapter, which is going to be there in your examination. So make sure you mark this one and you have to read it also. 13.6 generator and 13.7 domestic electric circuit is not there in your syllabus as far as the examination point of view, but still tomorrow I will teach you both this theory so that we will complete the chapter. Fine, that's it for today. Thank you so much. I will going to arrange a session. In that I will we will have a Zoom session. In that I will help you our this Fleming left hand rule, right hand rule and right hand thumb rule and some word problems. Okay, thank you.